Good evening, everyone. I hope you had a nice dinner, and I hope you're not getting too cold with the intermittent rain. That it just lowers the temperature very quickly. So please keep warm and do your best to avoid getting the chills. So now we're going to go into meditation, Shamatha practice on the rhythm of the breath. Glenn has already introduced the practice, so we're going to simply follow it. And we'll do one half of that, and then we'll go into a meditation, an analytical meditation on the 8 worldly concerns. So let's go right into it. Find yourselves in a comfortable position. Taking the indication of the bell to come back into the space of the body. Allow the mind to land into the space of physical sensations, going all the way down, where the body comes in contact with the cushion or the chair. Give yourself the space to become grounded and stable. And then expanding the awareness, observing the entire space of the body. Simply noticing physical sensations, becoming more aware of all the things that arise in the skin, and even if you can, in the internal organs. So many physical events happening right now. See if you can detect any of them, and just observe them. And having connected with the realm of physical sensations, we now let go of a particular feeling of tension. You can use the breath as a tool to let go of that tension, imagining that with each out-breath, the tightness dissolves and leaves the body with the out-breath. Every single breath becomes an opportunity to relax more and more in the body, allowing it to come back to its natural state. So very thoroughly scanning every single part of the body, getting rid of tension, breathing it out. relaxing and letting go. Not just letting go of physical tension, but also of mental tension, of worries, concerns, of things that agitate the mind. Just release and let go. Give yourself the space to relax. Bringing up again the experience of the body in its natural state, possessing the qualities of relaxation, stillness, and alertness. And as we remain quiet, the speech is also in its natural state of effortless silence. And to bring the inner chattering and the mind also in a state of calmness and relaxation. We bring the attention to the breath. In this case, we pay particular attention to the rhythm of the breath as it manifests. Simply noticing this flow and this rhythm, letting the body breathe in its own natural accord, without controlling, without forcing, without judging or labeling. We simply observe. To the best of your ability, try to keep the flow of mindfulness focused on the object, in this case the rhythm of the breath. And this flow of mindfulness simply remembers the object, holds it in place. Hold it gently, without forcing, without tensing up. Simply relax. The process not only requires the tool of mindfulness, but also the tool of introspection. Every now and then, notice what the mind is doing. Check the body and the mind. In terms of the body, notice if you're sinking, if the posture is starting to become a little bit off, or if you're tensing up, if there's areas of the body that are becoming tense. Again, just relax and breathe out the tension. And in terms of the mind, notice if you still hold the object, or if the mind has drifted into distractions. Distractions such as noises, thoughts, or memories. And when you notice that you've become distracted, just relax again. Recognize that you're distracted. Release the distraction and return to the breath and its rhythm. Are you still focused on the object? Is your mind still paying attention to the rhythm of the breath? Or has it drifted into distractions? Be aware and recognize what's going on and adjust accordingly. Once again, check the body and check the mind. Bring awareness to the whole process. We're not trying to space out, to become blank, especially not to fall asleep. So make sure that not only you're aware of the rhythm of the breath, but that it appears clearly to the mind, that you know and recognize what we're paying attention to. And like I said before, it's normal to get distracted. So once it happens, don't worry. Simply release the distraction and return to the breath once more. Those of you who need to move, to shift the posture, to stand up, you can do it now quietly. If you prefer to just stay in the posture, you can also do that. So now we go back to the posture. We'll start a meditation on the 8 worldly concerns. As we've done before, let the bell bring you back to the space of the body. Going back to the experience of a relaxed, calm and stable body. As a gesture of loving kindness to yourself, taking 3 deep breaths, inhaling fully and letting go, breathing in deeply and releasing thoughts, breathing in peace and just letting go. Relaxing and releasing all the tension. Synchronizing body and mind in a state of calmness, serenity. And as a means to complete the preparation, we can observe a few rounds of the breath as it comes in and out, noticing its rhythm. Letting the breath come and go in its own natural rhythm, uncontrived, without controlling, judging, or labeling. Now letting go of the breath and the physical sensations, we turn the mind into the space of the mind itself, where thoughts arise. And we can begin by developing a correct motivation for this particular practice, by simply wanting to change our view, our attitude with regards to the 8 worldly concerns, so that our mind does not anymore get confused and carried away by attachment and aversion. So we can focus on what is truly beneficial, and in this way use our life in a much more meaningful way. So in this meditation we'll familiarize ourselves with the nature of attachment. And we do this by contemplating on how harmful attachment can be for our mind and how much it imprisons the mind. Sometimes we think that we don't have any attachment in our life, that kind of nothing is there, but when you think about it, then it's present. We think that a mind without attachment, a life without attachment, might be a boring one. But we fail to see that non-attachment actually means to be able to be happy all the time, being content, without needing much. It is actually a very interesting and a very meaningful way of life. Which means that actually attachment limits our capacity to be happy. It limits our ability to open up. So we begin by contemplating on the 8 worldly concerns which come in pairs. And the first pair is related to receiving material possessions. And on the flip side, having aversion to not receiving or actually losing our belongings. To put it shortly, gain and loss. So for some time you can actually bring some specific examples to yourself, something that you can relate with. Seeing how attached you are to some of your possessions. Things that you have, that you value. Notice how much you long for these possessions, how important they are to you. And check your attachment to having these things. Having in mind some of these belongings of yours that are so precious. Now imagine that someone steals one of these items. And notice your emotional reaction to that. How does it make you feel? Are you able to keep a steady, clear, and calm mind? Imagine that in this very moment, while we're meditating, someone would come into your room, even sit on your bed, lean on your bag, open it up and go through it. Knowing this, do you get agitated? Is there any thought arising that makes you uncomfortable? Or would you be relaxed and at ease? We spend so much time accumulating things and then living in fear of losing them. When we think about it, it is really something very disturbing. Another pair of the 8 worldly concerns refers to praise and blame. So try to check how much of your energy in your life, how much of your time revolves around what people say about you. Again, try to bring to mind specific examples in your life, recalling times where you received praise for something. How does it feel? Check your emotional reaction to it. Maybe when we wear certain types of clothes, get a new haircut, do things in a specific way in order to impress people. Whose praise do you seek? You can even remember or imagine someone in front of you telling you just how wonderful and amazing you are. How does it make you feel? And even if we get all the praise that we want, even if the people around us approve us, does it in the long run really solve our internal and emotional problems? When you receive all the praise that you crave for, on the long run, do you think it satisfies your inner wish for fulfillment? Does it really fulfill you and bring you well-being? And on the flip side, how do you react when you get criticized or blamed? Again, bringing up examples or experiences, or simply visualizing and imagining that someone is blaming you or criticizing you for something you've done. What is your reaction? What is happening with your mind at that very moment? Again, check and notice honestly in your life how much effort you put into avoiding being criticized, and how much effort you put into being praised. And while this pair deals with what people say about us, the next pair deals with what they think of us, our self-image. So this pair is related to good reputation versus bad reputation. So bring to mind and analyze how much you compete with others in leaving a good impression. Are you always exerting yourself? Going out of your way to cause an impression which is positive and favorable for you? And ask yourself if a good reputation necessarily leads to happiness. Or is it actually something that is very difficult to maintain, a lot of work to keep? Notice in your own mind, in your own life, how much fear do you have that others may be talking behind your back? How much energy is revolving around thinking and questioning what others actually think about you? And really check, what does it really actually matter? And then we can go into the last pair, which is dealing with pleasant and unpleasant experiences. And one way to approach it is to imagine sitting outside in the sun, catching a little bit of sunlight, warming up. You enjoy for a moment, but then it starts to get too hot. So then perhaps you go back into the shade, or if you have a body of water close by, like a river or the sea, you go into the water. But then after a while it becomes too cold. So you're out in the sun again. Always on the move, constantly, trying to influence and manipulate our environment, wanting pleasure and avoiding pain. Notice how much energy is employed in this. And how difficult it is actually to find this lasting happiness, lasting pleasure. Because we're looking simply outside. And we can check, why do we need all these things in order to be happy? Why is it so important to us? All of these things are very impermanent. They are changing moment to moment. Furthermore, we cannot control them. And in the long run, they do not really benefit us. The main problem is that we think that they benefit us. But in reality, they do the opposite. These worldly concerns hinder us from developing good qualities. And mainly they are a waste of our precious time. So generating this awareness of how we employ so many means, so much of our energy into these 8 worldly concerns, we can develop an intention to progressively stand away from them, to look deeply within us for lasting happiness and well-being, to focus more inwardly, and to let go of wanting to control the external circumstances. and just let it be. So we're going to do a more extensive dedication in all the evening sessions, like we said before. So is there anyone who doesn't have the dedication paper? We have extras here. Yeah, so all of you who have it, please take out the paper. Yeah, please. Do you need this one as well?
Yeah.
Just this one? Yeah. We don't have any more. We don't have any more. That's weird. I think Glenn asked for it. I'm sorry. Anyways, we'll read. I'll get more for tomorrow. Yeah. How many people still missing the two more people? Yeah. Okay. I'll get more for tomorrow. So you're all welcome to read along if you want to, and if not, you can simply listen and even just stay sitting and contemplating on what we're going to say. So I'll read slowly so that we can all tag along. So let's get started. May all beings everywhere, plagued by the sufferings of body and mind, obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of my merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled, with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored in finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be free from their ailments. Whatever diseases are in the world, may they never occur again. May the frightened beasts to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain, to dispel the misery of the world. May it be so. So that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoy this night and that you sleep well. So tomorrow we start at 6:45 with a morning meditation. Hope to see you all tomorrow. Good night. Thank you.